What's going on, everybody? Drillian and I just got back inside from a walk and he's acting like he's hungry, which is not a surprise. So I figured I would use this time to show you guys like what I do to breastfeed / bottle feed and like what I've just like my experience with breastfeeding so far. It is going to change because once I go back to work, my pumping schedule will be different and how many bottles I'll need in a day will be different. So yeah, and then also like when you go grocery shopping or you're doing something with the baby, you know, you have to have a plan for like how many bottles you're gonna need. A diaper bag, obviously. So I'm gonna make a what's in my diaper bag video too. But again, that'll all change because we are a very like athletic family. We're always doing shit in the gym, basketball courts, outside working out, everything. We're always moving, except right now I'm not, and I'm just now kind of starting going on walks again with the baby and like pushing the stroller and shit. I'm only 3 weeks postpartum, but I'm feeling pretty good. And so I know though, once I'm healed, I'll definitely be working out and my whole pumping schedule is just gonna change. And then also once this like quarantine shit is over with and we start having basketball tournaments again, we'll be traveling again for basketball. So everything is subject to change. But y'all hear my baby, don't mind my busted ass curtains over here. Life, man. But yeah, let's get this boy fed. I figured I'd use this really quick opportunity to talk about my experience so far. I started leaking breast milk when I was like 35 weeks. So like really early, or colostrum anyway, and it freaked me out. I was sitting on this couch. Oh, and don't mind these boxes. We still haven't gotten rid of like the high, that's our high chair. But anyways, yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I started leaking right away. And I was just like freaking out, like, oh my gosh. Like, obviously I knew that was gonna happen, but when it happens, girl, it's mind blowing. It's just so weird seeing milk come out of you. It's like, whoa, the fuck. But it's amazing. And so I was really excited to breastfeed. The only downside of that is like, I feel like, I don't know, don't quote me, but if there was like a release in more hormones, because I was just so ready to push him out. Like as soon as I started leaking, I was just ready, you know. Your mind makes you think like, okay, like I'm feeding, like I need to feed, and so you just, it's so annoying. Like the last weeks of pregnancy are the worst, except not really. Morning sickness is the worst for me, but anyways, okay, so I started leaking, blah blah. Then I went to the hospital and I was able to feed him right away. The lactation consultant came in and she helped me hand express, and like right after that my milk was coming in and I was super engorged and it hurt so bad. Right underneath my armpits I had 2 big ass lumps, and my boobs, they were so hard, like they get like rock hard, you guys, and heavy, and it just feels like you have rocks in your boobs. It's like, what the hell is going on? So you've got to hand express in the beginning anyway, or I did. I can't really say that, you know, your experience is your own experience. I'm just letting you guys know my experience. So I was engorged like the day we came home from the hospital, but I had brought my pump to the hospital, so I recommend doing that. And I had the lactation consultant show me how to use the breast pump, and I started pumping I think maybe the next day I came home or the day after that, because I was just like strictly breastfeeding and didn't realize like the urgency for pumping when you are engorged. But then I figured it out and I started pumping, and I started a milk supply, so now I have like a stash, and I built that sucker quick as hell. It's actually ridiculous, and I don't need that much milk. So I'm trying to use it by bottle feeding him more. And also, I already said, yeah, I like to pump because my milk just comes out way too fast for him. Okay. Are you still going? That's a weak latch, Drillian. So, are you done? Am I out of milk? Okay, you guys can see the difference between this boob and this boob. Do you guys see that? Because he just drank. And something that your lactation consultant will tell you is that babies can siphon if that's the right word, more milk than a pump can. Like, they can drain you. So it does make sense that he chokes, because he's able to even suck faster than even when I'm pumping. Because when I'm pumping, it just fills up quick as hell. And to know that he's drinking faster than that is crazy. So yeah, look at the difference. So breast engorgement is real. I'm not trying to be too like sexual, but I do want you guys to actually see this, because this is crazy. It's also painful if you're kind of like me and you have like an overly active milk supply, I guess. It can be kind of painful, but that's why you just have to keep up with it. And that's why I'm saying my routine is gonna change, like, once we start doing what we do, like, for real again. Once this quarantine shit is over with, like, I'm gonna need a lot more milk for travel. I'm gonna need to know more about like storing milk. I'm gonna need an ice pack. Like, we're gonna have to have like a cooler. Like, it's all gonna change, but I'm really excited for it, because I wanted to be like I want to do like a sporty mom channel, because like that's our vibe. We're such a sporty family. And so I think it's really exciting, because like when I was first pregnant and like this quarantine shit wasn't going on, so I was thinking like, yeah, we're gonna be out and about all the time. So I was like googling and YouTubing like sports mom, what's in my diaper bag, sports mom, like courtside, like, so I know like what to bring with me, because it is a learning curve to become a mother. And like there was nothing on YouTube. There was like a soccer mom who was cool, but it's like, I'm not a soccer mom, I'm a basketball mom. So yeah, I guess be what I want, but I'm leaking, so I need to pump. Sorry for the like inconsistency. No, I'm not gonna say sorry. Fuck saying sorry. Shit, this is my real life, you guys. I just had to turn off the light and put him down because I really need him to go to sleep. I'm about to take a shower because I stink. I just went on a walk and it was humid outside. Ooh, trying to get up. This pimple is seriously gonna be the death of me. Okay, just got out the shower. Drillian is doing his little want to sleep but don't want to sleep thing right now. So I'm just gonna try to power through this. Okay, so I'm using the Dr. Brown's bottles, but I'm not gonna like recommend them or anything. I really don't care what kind of bottles you guys use. You know, it's all up to your baby, what your baby's gonna fuck with and not fuck with. So yeah. And then honestly, as far as like the claim to fame for these is like it helps with like colic and like gassiness and all that stuff, but my baby be super gassy. But I do like the bottles, okay? I'm not gonna lie. I just don't want to be responsible for recommending them. And then you guys are like, what the fuck? My baby doesn't like these. Like, yeah, it's not up to us. It's up to the baby. So it just comes in handy to like have a time that you are gonna clean all of your bottles and sterilize all of your bottles and all of your equipment for breastfeeding, because it is such a hassle. You do leak breast milk, so like you have to have shit just on deck. For at least I do. Those hakas, like these things, oops, I need to have these on deck at all times. So I'm gonna show you guys where I store them, how I store them, everything. So I'm actually gonna pump right now. So we're gonna kick it off. So I'm using the Amita breast pump. And like I said, I brought this to the hospital with me. They showed me how to use it, so definitely bring your pump to the hospital so that they can get you right. I really do fuck with this pump. So you control the pump by turning the suction to the right and the speed to the right, how hard you want it to pull on your boob, and then how fast you want it to do it. I usually do a pretty high suction with a low speed, like the lowest speed it can go, because that kind of drags it out a little bit longer. But yeah, I will just sit here and pump, and it really doesn't take that long. That's what I was concerned about when I first thought of breastfeeding, was I don't want it to like take a long time. Like, this is hard to do. But yeah, that was my concern with breastfeeding when it came to pumping, was I just didn't want to like be wasting all my time pumping. But it really doesn't take long to pump at all. It takes me like 15 minutes maximum to pump about 8 to 10 ounces. So it's really easy for me to pump. I do be lazy sometimes and I just don't want to pump. I've only been doing this for 3 weeks. My son is 3 weeks old today. So it's definitely an adjustment. You have to really like be committed to breastfeeding, and pumping and everything like that. Like if you're not committed, like you will hate it, because like I said, you're constantly leaking. I'm constantly having to change my shirt. I ran out of breast pads. I'm not even buying more because they didn't do anything for me. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like paper towels, I don't know. Like it's really annoying. But I'm really gonna try to stick to my pumping schedule, like religiously. Let's stick to my pumping schedule. And then, like I said, I do carry my hakas in a special way, so I'll show you guys all that. Okay, so I wanted to say that you do know when you're gonna leak. Like you don't know like 10 minutes before. You know like when it's about to happen, like 30 seconds before, because your boobs, they get really tight and they get really warm, and then they kind of sting a little bit, your nipples, and it's like, oh, it's coming. Like I know I'm about to leak. Yeah, it's so the feeling of it when I first was getting milk or whatever, I didn't feel it at all. But once you like get going into it more, like like it's like, okay, I got a lot of milk coming. I can just feel it, and it's not painful. It's just it's a little unpleasant. It's kind of like, whoa, like, you know, something's happening. All right, so here is three ounces. It's been 13 minutes and 20 seconds. And then here's a little over 4 ounces. So I would say that's about 8 ounces. Maybe like 7.5. Anywhere around there. I don't care anymore. When I first started pumping, I cared because I thought that's like what you should care about. But when you have a active supply, it doesn't matter. Just pump. Just get it out. And not to mention, I just took a shower and I pumped so much in the shower, and then my baby drained from me as well. So that's what I mean. Like this 4 ounce one from my left boob, I drained so much of that in the shower before even pumping, and like I'm still pumping, you know, like it's just crazy. On top of the fridge is where I keep this basket with like feeding related things in there. And then I'll keep the bottles in there sometimes as well. Okay, so there's really like 2 things I can do. I can pour this into the milk bag, or I could just pour this straight up into a bottle and have a bottle ready to go. But I actually already have a bottle made, so I'm just gonna store this away. I really need to get a camera stand because I'm just holding it right now. But you just pour this up in there. So that got me to 4 ounces. So I can pour in the other bottle. Okay. Oh my gosh, there's a fucking fly in here and I'm gonna fucking kill it. If you are like me and you're pumping every single day, I'm gonna fill this bag up today, but if you're don't have as much of a supply, you could always put the date of when you started this milk bag as well. So as far as this milk bag goes, you just want to lay it flat and store it in your freezer. Our freezer is really small, so yeah, my shit's kind of all over the place, but whatever. I'm just gonna store right here, and I will come back to it throughout the day. I leave a bowl of soapy water by the sink all day, just for parts, and so I like to clean shit right away. So I'll just put my breast pump up in there and get it washed literally right now. This is my baby's diaper caddy, and I take this with me everywhere I go in the house. So when I'm pumping, like I said, I like to pump in the nursery, and then I keep some milk bags just up there with me in the nursery, so I don't actually have to come downstairs every time and right away and put them there. And then I've got my nipple cream. I've got some bibs in here for when I'm feeding him, and then I also like to keep a bottle up in here and one of these storage containers up in here. And then lastly, I'll put 2 Hakas for my left and right tit up in there. If you guys want to know like what else I put in here, what else I keep around the house so that I always have everything on hand and I don't have to get up, let me know and I'll do like an organization video. But yeah, I can just carry this with me and I'm good to go. Okay, and then as far as like diaper bag goes, I keep 2 more of these containers in here, bibs, burp cloth, and then 2 pairs of the Hakas. And that's for traveling. And as far as storing bottles goes, I store the empty bottles in the fridge just because it's easy that way. And then also Eric will know where they are when he's feeding him. And then the active bottle that I'm using right now, and then the milk bag that I'm gonna add to later. And then when it comes to thawing milk, 4 bottles, I keep them up in this little container here. Every day, I'll grab 2 to 4. Just kind of depends. And they'll thaw out slowly, and then I can take them out when I actually need them. Okay, sorry. I just ate. But when it comes to bottles, you can keep your bottles at room temperature for 4 hours. So he's gonna be waking up. You just want to like time their naps. So he went to bed at around 12. It's almost 2, so he'll be waking up soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this bottle out of the fridge. Always look and see what you're starting with. You hear him? Always look and see what you're starting with. This is a 4-ounce bottle. It's just good to note that so that you know how much he is eating. And then what I will do is I will go ahead and take out one of my milk bags, and I'll either set it on the counter or put it in a bowl of warm water depending on how soon I need it. I don't need this for probably 4 hours. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let it thaw out on the countertop. And the reason why it's good to check and see how much you have in your bottle is because you'll know how much your baby will eat. So will he finish this bottle the next time he eats, which is gonna be right now? He probably will finish this. So that's why I'm gonna go ahead and set out my next bag so that I can pour a bottle for him. And then you can store your milk in the fridge for 3 days after pumping. After you've frozen it and poured it in a milk bag, I don't like to keep it longer than 24 hours. So if I'm freezing a milk bag, thawing a milk bag, I like to use it within 24 hours of thawing it. I don't know how long you can store it for, I don't know, but once you start getting going and you're pumping, like, girl, you are gonna be okay. And then I feel like this video wouldn't be complete if I didn't tell you to be drinking water. Yeah, we all hear it, drink hella water. 3 liters is what they recommend a day for you and baby. And then eating more calories. Try to take on like 300 more calories or something like that a day. Just make sure you're treating yourself good, girl, you know. Yeah, so far my breastfeeding experience has been relatively easy as far as making milk. The actual routine of it all is, you know, it's an adjustment. I'm not gonna say it's hard. It's just an adjustment. It's a life change. It's a big life change. Now having milk come out of my tits. So yeah, it's been an adjustment. I'm still learning, but I will update you guys as I go. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.